Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So as you can see, kind of a crazy day, but we've got range. Range is good. That means the price is moving. It's kind of calming down at the moment, and it's in our traffic zone. We're having some decent responses at some critical either prices or the levels. All these things that you see right here, this is all I'm using to trade, and I haven't put anything on the chart. This is all automatic. So what we're looking for is something that makes sense. This is a critical level right here. As you can see, with 4 of our levels, it's going to be hard to make it through that. So what we're looking to develop is identify our strategy. We're always ready to trend. We're always ready to cycle. And let the day determine for us what we should be doing. So just quick eyeball. Looks like we're coming through what we would if we were to get a ruler out and draw a line. This is you don't want to be actually doing this on your chart because it creates a false sense of security. This can be the beginning of a down, a reverse from whatever's been going on. You could do the same thing at the tops. Okay? So what we're looking for is if it stays inside that range, then we would say the bias is still up. If you break out of that range, generally, the bias would be to, in this case, go down, and they would find support somewhere before whatever happens next. So right now we're looking at it probably coming back down, but we're right on that verge right here. We're like right on the level. Also, you don't even need that. Look where we're at on the levels, the orange lines. So if we break through this one, we've got 7-11, we've got the pivot, we've got another orange below, previous support. We don't need to think too much. We just need to identify the conditions. So right now, a little bit of a response on the way up. Got to be very careful guessing on days like today because how fast it was reversing earlier. So we'll wait, let it come to us. One thing you have to do is you have to develop a sense of intuition through skilled repetition. Skilled repetition means you define exactly what you're going to do and you do it for a set of a reasonable amount of repetitions or iterations. You can read about this in the book, The Trader's Game. It's on Terrasoari.com for free. And in there, I write about all kinds of topics that if you don't understand, there's no way you can be a good trader. If you don't understand those topics, it's critical information. Just understanding how the game itself works and how we respond to the game, how we're incentivized to respond with bad behavior and so on and so forth. So what we're looking for is a retracement down. At this point, it's just lackluster. Below, retesting the pivot, seeing what happens here. And then maybe even below to 710. We've got, it's not a lot of volume above 710. Most of it was moving through 710. So we don't want to get too aggressive. But what we've seen is volume and range drop off. So this morning, a lot of preparation or anticipation, and then we've really really dropped off at the moment. So right now we're in cycle territory. We're not trending. Trending would require a clear pathway. This is not clear in terms of trend to be going back up. We're not going to trend because it can stop at any moment. We'd be looking to see a volume spike down here and at a clear level. And there's a couple things. So we would like to see the pivot or the time or the orange and 710 and the time window. All of those things kind of converging. That gives us a high probability for change. Could accelerate, which is always the problem. If a trade accelerates at the precise moment you think it's going to do something else. There we go. Let's see the response. See if any volume shows up. If not, I like this level right here. We may get a breakout all the way down to 710. And we've been going down for a while, so I may take that trade. Let me get in position if it happens. It's always good to take a pause, focus on your breathing, not get too locked into what's happening. Because there's this thing that can happen in your mind when you start convincing yourself that you know what's going to happen. But you never know. We just wait for things to happen that make sense and trade off of that. That's it. That's all we need to do with this chart. Once you practice for a little bit. No volume for a while. I may want to go below 710 and trade it back up to 710. Depends on how we get there. If it stops short, I'm not touching this because it's drifting down. And I need something. I need something that tells me something's changing. But right now it's just drifting. But we're very, very close. Like right there. All right, I'm in. Now, it might go lower. Probably will, because it just broke out. But we have a cyclical enough day to take a chance. And we'll see what happens. I don't want to... There's our volume. It could accelerate here. It's not really responding quickly. Okay, I'm out. So that was a quick one for 39 all the way up to 47. It was a dud. Let's not count that one, really. I think we're going below this, and I want to trade it back up to 710. We did try. We tried. We got all the stuff there, but it just didn't respond. So most likely the bias is still in the downward direction because the buyers did not come in. Let's see. It may shift and be great in a moment, but who cares? We don't get paid for holding through conditions that don't make sense. We get paid by following our rules, iterating, and making sure that our strategy and our tactics are producing for us. This is good. So twice in a row, it got rejected. Now, the thing to watch out for here is a big volume spike to push it below that level of support. Generally speaking, it's a pretty good spot to enter. We've got some action. Let's let it dance around for a moment. We got a time window. It's still staying below 710.50. Just 50 cents. Nothing crazy here. Let's let it develop. We've got 30 seconds before the end of the window. I want to see if it's going to accelerate down. And if it does, then that will be ideal for another trade coming down into this area where previous support, price, opening, another level. I really like this area for trading. And we had such a big, relative to today, big event where it closed the gap in like 2 minutes. So that was really good. Not seeing a lot of buyers come in, and then we're starting to see the beginning of a candle forming. The width of the candle is a reflection of volume. So if you have skinny candles and the price is moving, it means it's efficiently moving through prices without resistance. So you got to watch out. Doesn't mean one or the other is the way to trade. It's always a combination. You need to develop your intuition. So for me, I'm seeing this ideally wanting it to go down further because, and it looks like it might. We'll see what 710 has to offer. But let's say go right down here to 50 cents. That'd be a good level right there. We're kind of arcing over. You don't want to read the tea leaves too much, man. They'll start speaking to you and telling you all kinds of whatever you want to hear. So right now I'm seeing it go up and snap down. A little bit twitchy, which is what I like. The twitchiness of the, like when all of a sudden it starts jumping, it tells me that there's traders or trades being made, and that can oftentimes spark the next move. So you do want to keep an eye on that to a degree. Be careful labeling it in absolute format. You don't know what's going on, and you won't know. So that's the third one where we came back down, twitched, hit some support at 710. But we got a little bit lower, and there's the issue. So let's say we were a little bit higher on the wick than the previous one. See right there and then there. I'd be happier with that, but we did get a little bit lower. So we need to wait. Be looking for it to break the range of the previous candle. We're right on it right now. It broke it just like a little bit, but don't get wrapped up in the micro. One thing too is very important to let things develop, because it may seem when you're watching these videos that I'm just react. To a degree I am, and sometimes like right now we're letting it develop because the move you thought would happen oftentimes takes a few minutes to happen. That's very important. So if the hypothesis is that it will cycle back up from here, and it didn't, sometimes it takes a few minutes to develop, and then you can get your trade set up so that you can take advantage of it, but it will take some time. So we're looking right now at potentially moving back upward, but slowly. I'm waiting for a reaction, some sort of volume spike, decent candle with consistency in one direction or the other, and then we can start building on what might be happening. So it's a pretty tight range at the moment from here to here. We just want to keep our eye on it and see if we can identify an opportunity. If you're trading right now, you are purely guessing. We're always guessing, but then there's guessing and then there's guessing. There we go. There's that twitch. If you didn't see it, rewind the video and watch the. Now we've got lower with a twitch. So that tells me there's a high probability bias in a downward direction. That's my assumption. I don't care what happens. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm not going to trade anything until the next thing shows up that makes sense. So we had a twitch. You can again go back and watch the video right here in the last 2 minutes. And the high, first off, the wicks are big, means the price went up and then it started twitching down and it was lower than the previous candle. So descending in this case, and 710 is still supporting at the moment. And now we're starting to twitch around again a little bit. So we may get another opportunity. Ideally, I want to see it go lower just because I don't want to wait for it to come back up. I want to get in and trade and then be done. And it's already a longer video, hopefully of value. There we go. Now we're moving down. That's good. So we need to get to a level that makes sense. I want to be careful with these previous lows. Like it just hit that low, not tradable because the acceleration started like right here and 710's a big price. So I'm not touching it till 709 or lower. And 709 is close to the opening price and our level here. So I might be chilling until we get something in that range if it happens. Nice. So this level's already been barely touched. We'll look for this one next. Again, don't read the tea leaves too much. It looks like it's accelerating. Cool. There we go. Volume spike. Let's see if it pushes down even more. I do want to check something though. Let's zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Previous lows down here below 708. So looking for, at this point, that gap, this can happen. It's crazy how often it happens. There we go. Touching 709. Almost. It can fill the gap and then go right back down and then beyond like crazy. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful because we're ultimately trying to time something. We don't want to be negative at all or for too long before our trade plays out. So right here, I'm looking for, give me a clue. Are you gonna go through this support, or are you just going to chill? There's volume building. It looks like we're coming back up, but I'm seeing down still winning. So let's let it develop even more. This is good, guys. Here's the thing: we had good price action, good volume throughout this entire range. So the likelihood of it going back up is very high. But we don't need to be perfect. We want to wait until we have something that makes sense. This is pretty steep, pretty consistent, lower volume. Very interesting. Now we're getting higher volume on the sell side for this one, on the support and the sell side for this one. No volume here. So this could be a nice opportunity very soon. There we go. So we're coming back up to this previous level of support, which is now providing resistance. That tells me that we're still on a downward bias. Again, that's my assumption. You have to make assumptions in trading. The beauty is if you call it an assumption, you won't hold on to it. Don't fall in love with your plan. It's just an assumption. Low volume, decent range, and down. So let's break below here. Let's see where we go down to the open. and see how we do there if we reach it. But we've got to get below. Let's just call it 709. Let's not get too crazy. Decent day though in terms of this video and feedback and trading and stuff like that. There's a lot of information on a day like today. It's very difficult to trade a day like today on a chart like this. I'm going to be using the Q just for showcases. But there's this stuff that I'm talking about applies on any chart, almost any chart. Just to be clear, the exceptions, you probably could find some exception somewhere, but almost all the charts that I have ever looked at, same principles apply. It's supply and demand. That's all it is. So we're chilling down here right above 709. I'm looking for it to drop down. There's a little twitch. There's a 709. Drop below here. Let's see what happens. I'm in position right now. I don't want to be too crazy, too specific, but we've been going down for a while. It's pretty consistent. I'm not confident that the volume is just going to jump in all of a sudden at the opening price, but if it does, there's our volume spike. Oh, going down. It's accelerating. Got to be careful here. I wanted to go a little bit lower. Man, that's tempting. I wanted to go a little bit lower because we could have gotten it right on the open, but we've accelerated. I want to trade it back up to this. We'll see what the response is. I don't like that. I mean, that's very obvious right here. But again, could just get knocked out because it's now at such a significant level for the day. Boom, it could just drop down very quickly. There, look at that. Okay, we're going to get ready to go back up if it goes crosses 708. So I'm waiting right now for the response to the move, which is good. Remember, I talked about it earlier. If you break this, man, sometimes they can just run like crazy. There's a twitch. Let's see what it creates. And if we miss it, we miss it. This is not an easy day. Looks like we're headed lower. But you never know. And if I'm wrong, we missed it. Cool. Let's go lower though. We get some more continuity on a key. There we go. Oh, it was so quick. Let's see if it follows through. Okay, let's get in. So it's been sitting there for a while. We may have an opportunity for it to go up, maybe. All right, I'm out. Negligible. Real quick, we made, I don't know, like $4. Doesn't count. I wanted it to accelerate as it moved through here, but right now, you can see a little bit of volume here. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It's moving too slow at this key level. So I want to trade it back up. Remember the plan was, let's go down below here and trade it back up to the open. It's just kind of stagnating. It's okay. Again, like I said, if we miss it, we miss it. Yeah, there's a twitch down. Now let's see if the twitch is up. If the response is up. Yeah, it's still twitching down. I'm saying that like it's some technical term. It's just reacting quickly. That's all. New time window. Cool. We went back up. Okay. We're back in because the twitch got filled. And we're going to get out here in a moment as it crosses 7. If it crosses 709. Tough. Can almost impossibly not. All right. I'm not waiting too long. What was that one? 73 to 87. No. 77 to 87. So $10. Let me zoom in. There we go. Buy at 87, sell at 95. Okay. The reason why I got out is because I wanted it to react through 709 and it was stalling before. And yeah, maybe longer trade this fine, but look at the chart today, guys. If you're wrong, you're going to get smashed. No. I'm just doing quick stuff right now. Unless I get lucky and the reaction's in my favor by a lot, then I will let it develop and let it run in line with the plan. But right now, it's just not doing that. So what is that? 3 trades. Let's count it up real quick, just so we're keeping track. We got in, let's see, 39, 47. So that's $7. 7 plus 4, 11 plus 8. Not bad. $19 so far. Now, that's, I say not bad. Each one of those trades didn't follow through. The aggregate is a $19 premium gain, but we got to look at today as I won't say like a failure, but like not ideal. And as you can see, this stuff is just crazy. So no losses. That's so far. So that's good. And we're waiting for the reaction. Significant reaction to the open price because we just took off, came very consistently all the way back down. I'm not seeing a bunch of excitement around this level. Big time responses back up to 710. It's just kind of creeping around. So we're just waiting. Okay, that can be it for today on the video. I'll pause the video now. If something sets up in a bit, I'll turn it on. If not, we'll see you next time. Happy trading.